Backed by recent surveys with a loyal listener base, your message will reach a wide audience effectively.
Extensive network. iRadio is not just a radio station. It's a network of interconnected stations. When you partner with iRadio, we'll broadcast your program across multiple locations such as Wow, Awil, Kwajok, Yambio, Bor, Rang, Malakal, and Baliyet, ensuring maximum coverage and impact.
Regional presence. iRadio footprint extends to the states of Western and Northern Bahr el Ghazal, Western and Central Equatoria, Jonglei, Upper Nile, and Warab. By collaborating with iRadio, you can connect with diverse communities and target audiences in these regions.
Community engagement. Partnering with iRadio means engaging with communities at a grassroots levels. Your message will resonate with listeners in various locations, fostering meaningful interactions and driving brand awareness.
Comprehensive coverage with stations in strategic locations like Reng, Malakal, and Baliyet. iRadio offers comprehensive coverage that reaches both urban centers and remote areas. Your partnership with iRadio ensures visibility across a wide geographic area.
Don't miss out on the opportunity to amplify your message with iRadio. Partner or advertise with us today and make your voice heard across South Sudan.
Thank you, our esteemed listeners, for the vote of confidence in iRadio's brand as an independent broadcaster of news and information. Your vote of confidence has inspired our reporters and journalists to commit to the dissemination of accurate, verifiable, and credible news and programming to inform, educate, and entertain. As a result, iRadio's content has reached over 17 million people on Facebook, according to Facebook metrics for the last 3 years. A number larger than the population of South Sudan. Thank you for your continued feedback. For detailed news analysis, please check iRadio's website www.iradio.org and subscribe to or like iRadio's YouTube channel to get all our latest videos. iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
بتفتش على راديو مثالي؟ آي راديو هو جوابك. ليه تختار آي راديو؟ في 5 الأسباب المغنى.
الثقة والوصول. بيعتبر آي راديو المحطة الإذاعية الأكثر ثقة وشعبية في جنوب السودان، مدعومة بالاستطلاعات الأخيرة مع قاعدة مستمعين مخلصين. حتصل رسالتك إلى جمهور واسع بشكل فعال.
شبكة واسعة النطاق. آي راديو ليست مجرد محطة إذاعية، إنها شبكة من المحطات المترابطة. لم تكن شريك مع آي راديو. سنقوم ببث برنامجك عبر مواقع متعددة مثل واو، أويل، كواجوك، يامبيو، بور، رنگ، ملكال وباليت، وبيضمن أقصى قدرة من التغطية والتأثير.
التواجد الإقليمي. بتمتد بصمة آي راديو إلى ولاية غرب وشمال بحر الغزال، غرب والاستوائية الوسطى، جونغلي، أعالي النيل ووراب. من خلال التعاون مع آي راديو يمكنك التواصل مع المجتمعات المتنوعة والجماهير المستهدفة في المناطق ديل.
مشاركة المجتمع. الشراكة مع آي راديو بتعني التعامل مع مجتمعات على مستوى الشعبي. رسالتك حتوصل للمستمعين في مواقع مختلف، مما يعزز التفاعلات الهاتفة ويزيد الوعي بعلامة تجارية.
التغطية الشاملة. مع محطات في مواقع استراتيجية زي الرنج، ملكال وباليت، بتوفر آي راديو تغطية شاملة بتصل إلى كل من المراكز الحضرية والمناطق الريفية. بتضمن شراكتك مع آي راديو الرؤية عبر منطقة جغرافية واسعة.
ما تفوت فرصة توسيع نطاق رسالتك باستخدام آي راديو. شارك أو أعلن معنا الليلة وخلي صوتك مسموع في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان.
Welcome to the Sundown Show. On this show, we bring you the movers and shakers of South Sudan and the world over. We engage in debates and discussions that unearth the stories behind the news. And we have our light moments too by chit-chatting about issues that affect our day-to-day life. We stay right here on the Sundown. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. The Sundown, for the news, views, opinion, debates and discussions. Listen to who is who, talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show on Radio with me, Madrama. Today is Monday, 5th May 2025. The program comes to you Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for comprehensive look at the daily events, the latest information, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews and exciting surprises. To be part of the show, call us on 0911-986-986 or 0922-986-986. You can send for us a text message on 0913-986-986. If you can't access the radio, we are also on Facebook, X, YouTube, and more. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging to that's our website at www.iradio.org. Coming up. A civil society leader has welcomed the joint visit of two top African diplomats to Juba, saying it offers a hope for reducing recent outbreak of violence in the country.
We are so impressed that at least IGAD and AU have responded to our advocacy. This is a positive remark from AU and IGAD, and we hope that our government will cooperate with IGAD and AU effectively.
Well, Edmond Yakane will provide for us more on that particular story. Meanwhile, on a tragic incident occurred on Saturday night in Nyakron, South Juba, where 5 members of the same family lost their lives after a concrete fence collapsed on their house during a heavy rain here.
The tragedy that happened. These people, they had built their temporary structure behind a newly constructed wall fence, and this whole fence did not have a gate. So when the rains fall, the water flowing through the road branches into the floor because there is no gate.
Well, Nicholas Kenyi, who witnessed this tragic incident, will provide for us more details in this particular show. All and more in this particular program will be coming on your way with me, Madrama James. Now, let's have a quick break.
Basma le radio Hagiga, I radio in Takum fi Junub Sudan.
Welcome back from the break. Let's start the show with the peace process. A civil society leaders welcomed the joint visit of two top African diplomats to Juba, saying it offers a hope for reducing the recent outbreak of violence in the country. The executive director of a Community Empowerment for Progress organization, Edmond Yakane, says the arrival of the African Union Commission chairperson and the IGAD executive secretary on Monday is a positive step towards reviving the peace process. The two regional leaders are expected to hold meetings in Juba before leaving on Tuesday. They are Muhammad Ali Yusuf, chairperson of the African Commission, and Muhammad Abi Y, deputy executive secretary of IGAD. According to information we obtained before going on air, the delegation met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mande Simaya, but there was no statement to the media. However, Yakane says their visit comes at a critical time when clashes among peace parties are raising doubt about the future of the political transition in South Sudan. He urged the government to fully cooperate with the AU and IGAD teams and ensure their visit help restore dialogue and trust among the parties. Yakani also warned against repeating past mistakes where visiting international envoys were sidelines. He called for inclusive meetings, including involving all party stakeholders to find a united way forward for ending the violence and implementing the remaining task of the peace agreement. Now, let's listen to activist Edmond Yakani speaking to the media.
I'd like to take this opportunity to highly welcome the declared visit of AU Commission Chairperson and Executive Secretary of IGAD on a joint visit mission to Juba on Monday, and they will return on Tuesday. And their visit is within the scope of de-escalating the breakout violence in the country recently among the parties to our access, which is challenging the faith of the political transitional process in South Sudan through the implementation of the pending task of our access. We are so impressed that at least IGAD and AU have responded to our advocacy. This is a positive remark from AU and IGAD, and we hope that our government will cooperate with IGAD and AU effectively. The lessons that we have learned from the previous visit of other special envoys and other dignitaries to the country should not happen to the chairperson of AU Commission and to IGAD Executive Secretary, because these are our two regional leaders that have supported us throughout our cost of struggle for the independence and fixing our house in order through the R access, as we are aware that politically South Sudanese have disagreed on how to transition the country from violence to peace through the implementation of the R access. But we as a civil society or stakeholders, all of us are demanding that the only pathway for resolving the discontented political position or grievances is through dialogue, not through violence, because violence is making our common citizen paying a very painful price. So we are appealing to our government at their various levels that the visit of the AU should be a fruitful visit that will really contribute to this escalation of violence and resumption of dialogue for a genuine and timely implementation of the pending task of our access for transition the country from violence to peace. And the visit of the GAD Executive Secretary jointly with the chairperson of AU Commission should be inclusive. We are appealing to both leaders of IGAD and AU to ensure that they have inclusive meetings with all stakeholders and the parties to our access in order to gain a national consensus. And we hope that also the visit will engineer South Sudanese to have dialogue among themselves to gain a national consensus on the pathway how to transition the country from violence to peace through implementation of the pending task of the R access. Thank you very much.
Edmond Yakani is the Executive Director of Community Empowerment for Progress Organization, also known as SEPO. This has brought us to 18 minutes gone past the hour of that is 4 now. We want to hear from you. What's your take on the visit of the AU Chairperson and the IGAD Executive Secretary to Juba? Do you think it will help bring peace and dialogue among South Sudanese leaders? Share your thought with us on 0911022986 based on the unfolding that's a political event in the country. Now having a top African diplomats in the country, what would be your take? Let me first talk to my first caller right here. Hi, radio.
Madrama Jam.
Yes, Lul.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for being also my first caller of the week.
I'm glad to be the first caller, of course.
So what's your take?
Jam, I don't think the coming of the aid of African Union and the executive will make a difference.
Why are you saying so?
Yeah, because it is not the first time that we've seen a representative from African Union to come here to South Sudan and trying to persuade the leaders to embrace peace and conduct that. So African Union and the EU and other actors have been engaging in subtle diplomacy to try to persuade the two leaders to put the safety of civilians first for personal interest. And all this failed. And this is what make me less optimistic, Madrama, because we always hear that even the panel of the white, we haven't heard about the finding yet. Now they came here in order to end this situation, but they return back. They return without any solution. And
So Lul, let me ask you also on a different note, like what should be done different to that encourage peace and create an environment where our leaders will have that round table discussion?
Madrama, no one wants to see this country sliding back into civil war again. So we have been using the word dialogue for quite a long time. This is the dialogue. So our leaders should engage in dialogue. They should put aside their differences and put the safety of civilians first, because the innocent civilians are always paying the price of all these things, because they are rallying behind the politicians who have been hot since the independence. They are fighting for political survival, and we, the citizens, are suffering because of them, and they make us suffering, and we want to see this suffering ending. So I hope if the African Union leader come here, and he should work on trying to put pressure on the leaders of South Sudan, the president and vice president, to embrace peace so that this country does not slide back into civil war again.
Thank you, Lul, for sharing your thought with us. Let's also give a chance to another call. iRadio.
مساء الخير iRadio.
مساء النور.
متصل قشق من POC.
مرحب.
أنا بايك في استوديو وبايك كل الناس المهبين برنامج سانداون، ولا مساء الخير.
شكرا جزيلا.
أخوي أنا بدي شكرا لأدمن ياكاني لزول الوحيد فكرة حياة بتاعه إن جنوب السودان يكون فيه سلام، إن جنوب السودان يكون فيه وحدة، إن جنوب السودان يكون فيه ازدهار. أدمن ياكاني تفرياته كل الليل والنهار بصوت المطلع جنوب السودان، بالإضافة إلى الكنيسة اللي بيصلي الليل والنهار أنه جنوب السودان يكون فيه سلام. برضه لكلين لكدول لورا نقول لهم شكرا. للزوار هذا نقول الحمد لله السلامة للناس الجو عشان يجي يشوفوا موضوع تمشي جنوب السودان. نتمنى انه يكون في رؤيه كويس، يكون في استقبال تمام من قبل الرئيس ووزراء بتاعه عشانهم يوري للزوار ديل ان جنوب السودان ده بلد كويس، وجنوب السودان برضه منه يقبل السلام. اخي العزيز في الاستديو واخي والمستمع، هسه في غزف جوي في منطقه فنجاك، يعني حاجه 13 دقيقه مشى، يعني ما مشى الزمن. زوارنا في جوبا ناس اجتماعات، ما زال الغزو الجوي في سفنجاك. فده اذا كان في رؤيه السلام ما بكون في يوم بتاع زوار في جوبا هنا وناس في معدسات. اقول نحن وقف كلامنا نكتب لهم نقول احنا نفس الكلام نفس السلام، يرجعوا دورنا نرجع للغزو الجوي بتاعه واضرب كل محل تضرب فوقه. لكن انت ما تضرب ناس، انت مع ناس ضيوف بتاعك، ضيوف جو هنا جاي للسلام، انت ما يتعامل مشاكل ثانيه مع ناس. فهنا بعكس انه جنوب السودان ما في نيه كويس للسلام، ده بعكس انه حكومتنا لسه انه نيه بتاع الحرب، رغم انه الرئيس بيقول انا ما اقدر ارجع بلدي بالحرب، لكن في يد ممدوده بالورق بدي تعليقات امس اضرب النازل. فكل شيء يعني كويس برضه، اذا اختار الحرب اختار شكله النيه بتاع الرئيس ما مشكله. قال الزوار ترجع وقول لهم يعني زي ما ريال ودينغ جاء وزي ما كل الناس اللي جو هنا وجا كلام معهم رجعوا، ارجع للمشاكل بتاع اضرب زي ما تدري اضرب.
شكرا. أكون كوتش iRadio. iRadio.
الو السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
معك بنجان من POC.
مرحب.
اولا انا برحب الوفد الجاي من الاتحاد الافريقي وايجاد، انه يعني انا بشوف ده اخر فرصه بالنسبه للجنوبيين، بكون اخر فرصه لأن المجتمع الإقليمي والمجتمع الدولي وخاصة الاتحاد الإفريقي حريصة جدا على الاستقرار جنوب السودان. في وفود قبل كده جو جنوب السودان عشان يتكلموا مع المسؤولين في الحكومة على أساس إنه مصلحة بتاع الإقليم كله في الاستقرار جنوب السودان، لكن ما كان الاستجابة بدلا من النائب رئيس أو رئيس الوزراء الكيني رايل اودينغا جو جنوب السودان. حتى المناشدات بتاع الحضر الأعظم بوب فرانسيس قبل ما يتوفى كان قاعد يتكلم مع القادة الجنوبيين وعلى أساس إنه يكون في سلام في جنوب السودان، وحصل القادة الجنوبيين إنه ما يعامل شعبهم كعبيد. يعني الناس محتاجة للسلام. نتمنى المدة الجاية ده يكون في اختراق بالنسبة للجمود السياسي الحاصلة في جنوب السودان. الناس محتاجة للسلام، لكن إذا شخص المشكلة بتاع جنوب السودان في وقت الحالي بتشوفوا ده صراحة ولا سلطة. يعني في ناس بيقول إنه السلطة ده عندهم حق إلهي، على أساس السلطة ده لازم يكون في يدهم، يعني لهم حق إنه يحكم الناس الثانيين. السلطة ده لازم ما يطلع من يدهم، فده سبب المشكلة. يعني حتى اللي أنت بتقول إنه يعني الحزب بتاع SPLM أصبحت ما عنده وجود، ما عنده عمل. يعني بقى في أجسام قبلية، يعني مثلا إنه أصبحت بديل SPLM. يعني في أجسام قبلية يهو شغال يهو قاعد عنده أجندات قاعد يخدم مصالح بتاع القبيلة. فأنا بشوف إنه يعني حتى الشكل ده إذا ما وقفت يعني في تحديد بالنسبة ذاته بتاع جنوب السودان. يا إما يكون جنوب السودان دولة أو يزول هذا اسمه جنوب السودان من الخارطة العالمية. لأن إذا نحن بنشاكل برانا، وأنا بعتبر المشاكل الحاصلة والحروبات اللي قاعد تحصل جنوب السودان ده الخيانة للدماء. الناس اللي ناضلوا من 83 يعني زي نحن عمل لهم خيانة. فأنا بشوف إنه السلام هو يعني أحسن بدل من الحروبات. يعني المشاكل قاعد تحدث يعني بالنسبة للغصب المدنيين في فنقاق وفي فم الزراف وفي ناصر وفي أولان ده ما بخدم استقرار بتاع البلد. حتى دكتور مشار أنا بشوف إنه يعني ده الرقم ما ممكن يتجاوزوها مثلا. يعني الناس دايرة سلام حقيقي، خلي الناس يطلقوا الصراحة بتاع دكتور مشار والناس في فاول وناس يتفاوضوا، لأنه وجوده في الحبس أو في إقامة جبرية ما بتقدم عملية السلام. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا جزيلا برو كمان وسد مشاركة. أنا أكيد رسالتك وصلت في فيسبوك بيج هاغنا Indina Nyok Padie, who is watching us from Kigali, Rwanda. We have Margaret Lado, who is watching us from Addis Ababa. Then Mike Martin from Gudele, that is praying for the nation. Thank you so much. Peter Nial is watching us live from Bor, Jonglei State, that all is needed in South Sudan is a serious accountability for those who are like a stumbling block for the peace in the country. Keep your messages coming via our Facebook page, and let's have this on our live call. iRadio.
Good evening, Mwajago.
Good evening, James Duar. This is Madrama James.
Madrama James.
Welcome on board.
You know, the visit of the chair of African Union and the visit of executive, the deputy executive of IGAD will be fruitful when they have inclusive consultation. This is how it will have a good meaning. When they take inclusive consultation between the partners. Because now it happened that there is one partner with the alliance calling themselves government. And it came as a result that parties don't know the role of political parties. That's why it happened like that. Secondly, they should talk after they get inclusive consultation between Machar and President Kiir as well as some other leaders whom they want to consult. Then they will go with a balanced story. A balanced story that will really have a solution after they take it. But if these things are not going to happen, then it will be waste of time, and African Union will be declared as toothless organization that will not address anything in Africa. Though it is having some sign like what is happening in Sudan and what happening in Congo and South Sudan here and rest of African countries, that they don't have any say, it shows that African Union will not have any solution. But let them show their teeth now to the current conflict of South Sudan. Failure to show their teeth, then each and every person will act according to his or his will on how majority they are and what they can be do to other people, minorities.
A quick one, James Duer. When you talked of that having a inclusive dialogue, whom would you really want to feature in this particular consultation and dialogue engagement in the country, for example?
Yeah, those who will sit for dialogue, one is SPLM-IG and SPLM-IO.
Okay.
These are those having a military wing, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Biden was having, but with the political wrangling of power, I think their forces deserted them. But IO is still having remnant of his forces whom were not really integrated to the LSPDF, and also the people who were integrated and just put abandoned without being deployed. So these are the parties can go on table for negotiation, but I don't know whether it's going to work. As I said before, political parties don't know their roles. If political parties know their role, they would have the one to come out and declare the illegitimacy of the government. But since people are aiming for what to get in the government and not to benefit the public and the nation as well, that's why you see people keeping quiet. But in real sense, if these people go back without any tangible results over the visit, then it will be the end of our axis, and people should not talk of our axis unless it will be used powerfully. But using it in legitimate forum, it will not be accepted because they have rejected it, and indication of rejecting it is the ongoing war. You have seen today, Lulu Aikong posing that they are pursuing, they pursued SPLM forces, and they are running after them. He has been posting today 3 forces. So, and the delegation came here. So it is not that good for us to continue with such war that we don't know what will be the consequences of it later. We have already a downbreak economic that will not help the people, plus war. It will really, really be a serious disaster that will really make majority to die, and famine will really punish our people this year with a serious intervention that will really affect our people if people are not serious about this thing.
Let's keep it here for now. I do really thank you, James Duer, for sharing your thought with us. Let's keep the conversation going on 0911-022-986-986. And we are asking you, do you think the visit of the African top diplomats to South Sudan will help bring peace and dialogue among South Sudan's leaders? I read you.
Madrama James.
Joseph.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
And good evening to the audio.
Thank you.
My brother, I don't know whether the head of the African Union and the deputy executive secretary of the GATT, they listen on us, because some of us are speaking from POCs. And back to 2012, 2011, there were no area called POC here in Juba. And in South Sudan, there were no area called POC. Some of us ran away to the near countries, to the refugees camp. Some are in POCs because of war. Come to the peace agreement of 2015-2018, it's being signed in documents. And we could not feel one day that there is peace in the nation. Because if it's fighting, it's still in the countryside, insecurity is still there, economic hardship is still there, but all these things are created by this war. And if you look at this war, critically, this war is a tribal war. And our leaders are friends with African Union leaders. They discuss what they know with the leaders of the African Union and the leaders of IGAD and the international community. And later on, they come with the drop, and that drop is not being implemented. And the war is mostly affected simple people, which is countryside men and women. So what we want from them, if they came here for the peace, to rescue the lives of the people of South Sudan, let them bring these people to the table for the what so-called real peace. What we want is the final peace, because this current peace agreement is not rescuing lives of people. That's why you hear every day killing, you hear every day sound of the sound of guns. And what we want as a people, it is what so-called lasting peace. Lasting peace will not come that interest of the leaders is being implemented, and the influenced people are what who set under the peace mediation. So there were peace in Rome, and that peace in Rome was advertised, misleading, and brought to Kenyans. Up to date, is not known whether it's going well or not, or is it stopped there. Now there is war within here, and people are trying to talk about to release this person and to go. All these people, let them come together. Those who were already leave Juba, let them be consulted wherever they are. They must be invited by the IGAD to come to the table for resolution of the conflict of this country.
Sure.
This conflict was not born with us. Was not getting independent with the conflict. Conflict was created after the independence. So what we want from the IGAD and the African Union, let them bring them to the table for the praise talk.
Thank
and
you.
Let them consult the citizens, common citizens of South Sudan, not leaders alone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was Joseph here in Juba and Munuki in particular. Now, if in case you have just joined us, you are listening to the Sundown Show with me, Madrama James, and we are talking about the two-day visit of the chairperson of African Union Commission and IGAD's Deputy Executive Secretary to South Sudan to engage parties on ending hostilities and reviving the 2018 peace agreement. Now, we are asking, do you think their visit will encourage peace and dialogue among South Sudanese leaders? 0911-229-8696. Hi, Radio. Hi, Radio. Hi, Radio.
Hi, Radio. How are you?
Tamam, community advisor in Medina Bor.
Yes, me community advisor from Bor.
Welcome. What's your take?
The topic of today, it is a good topic. But
thank you.
There are two things involved in that topic.
One,
if we tell the truth now, people will quarrel with us. And if we lie, God will quarrel with us.
So where are you?
I will tell the truth and people will quarrel with me. The visit of the African Union, it will be disaster to people of South Sudan. It will be destructive to people of South Sudan. Because the African Union were quiet when these two parties were outside and there is no conflict among themselves. And they were failed to implement peace. And when one party start fight with another party, is whereby the African Union came and said, Mr. So-and-so must be free from house arrest. And when he will be free from house arrest, this destruction will come to people of South Sudan. And another one, you see international community benefiting when people of South Sudan fight for themselves. And Africa also benefiting when the people of South Sudan fight for themselves. If they are benefiting for fighting, they will be focused how to control the how to control South Sudan to be in war and in war forever.
But the issue, someone will say, for other person not to control South Sudan, the powers are in the hands of the citizens. So what are you doing?
If we, the citizens of South Sudan, when we are not used as a tool, we're supposed to sit down and we have our power to be brought back to the citizens. Because citizens, they have power to elect the president of the people. If we are not divided, we, the people of South Sudan, as a citizen, we're supposed to sit down and ask for our power. And we stop those politicians who are destroying this nation with their allies from different countries.
Thank you.
From international communities.
Thank you.
So that is what we're supposed to say. But now we have no ground where we're supposed to call for those people and to be brought back our power.
Thank
so that's what I say. Thank you so much. It's me, community advisor from Jongle State Board.
Yes, community advisor is calling for the citizens to unite. Thank you so much for sharing your thought with us. Now, via our Facebook page, we have Victor Long, who is watching us from Nyakron, where he hopes the visit of African Union leadership to Juba will bring lasting peace to our country, South Sudan. Meanwhile, we have Gideon John. He says some of South Sudanese respect God, and as such, they are praying for this country not to again go back to that conflict. Thank you. Keep those messages coming. Now, dear listener, let's have our first commercial break of the show. When we come back, we shall keep the conversation going.
The Ministry of Health is conducting a commemoration of African Vaccination Week with a new vaccine introduction of pneumonia vaccine, targeting all children aged between 6 to 14 weeks. Take your child to the nearest vaccination center during the African Vaccination Week or Big Catch-up campaign.
Good morning, Mama Alice.
Good morning, Mama Ladu. Where are you coming from this morning?
I had taken Ladu for pneumonia vaccination at the health center to protect my child against pneumonia and meningitis. He was also vaccinated with other routine immunization vaccines at no cost. Is baby Alice already vaccinated?
Yes, she was vaccinated last month. Does she need to be vaccinated again?
Yes, she needs to be vaccinated with at least 3 doses at 6, 10, and 14 weeks to be fully vaccinated, immunized, and protected against pneumonia.
Really? I just heard from afar that there will be a vaccination campaign during the African Vaccination Week, but I was not keen enough to get the details.
You know, pneumonia vaccine is effective in preventing pneumonia and deaths in infants and young children. This vaccine has just been introduced this year, 2025. A lot of children were not vaccinated. Some even travel without being vaccinated. I wouldn't want to see any child get pneumonia.
I didn't know that pneumonia is very serious, that it can cause meningitis and even death.
Yes. Pneumonia is a life-threatening disease caused by bacteria or viruses. The signs are cough, fever, chills, and shortness of breath, which may be accompanied by chest pain when breathing or coughing. Children who survive may experience long-term effects on lung function and increased risk of respiratory conditions like asthma.
Asthma or lung function complication? Oh, that sounds scary. How can I protect my child from this dangerous disease?
The only way for your child to be safe is when your child and all children in your neighborhood are vaccinated with pneumonia vaccine.
I will do that immediately. Where can I take my child for this vaccine? Hope it is not late.
No, you are not late. Pneumonia vaccine and all the other routine vaccines are available at all government health centers in your areas. Tell your neighbors with children between 6 to 14 weeks to be vaccinated.
I'm glad you told me. I will take my child immediately to the nearest health center for pneumonia vaccination.
Bring your child to the nearest health center and protect them from pneumonia and other vaccine-preventable diseases. This message is brought to you by the National Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and South Sudan Women in Medicine.
The Sundown, for the news, views, opinion, debates, and discussions. Listen to who is who talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Thank you and welcome back from the commercial break. Let's keep the conversation going. Do you think the visit of Chairperson of African Commission and IGAD's Deputy Executive Secretary to South Sudan to engage parties on ending hostilities and reviving the 2018 peace agreement will come to light? 0911022986 iRadio.
I wrote dear James.
Yes.
Michael P. Jubatu.
Marha Michael.
شكرا شديد جيمس. طبعا في تعرف تعب بتاع الجنوبيين في دولة هنا ده كله through negotiation. قال له parties قال عمل negotiation since the beginning up to now. And that's why you see the citizens of South Sudan, they are suffering a lot. And nobody is thinking about the citizen. Now, from my view, there is no need of negotiation.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Kali, I'm looking at the best. Negotiation, that's about al-IGAD, who partners al-Kulu al-Gade, ya umun gade yaji amul business. Talking. Talking, it cannot help. You see, the peace will come when the people are happy. You see now, even within South Sudan here or outside, nobody is happy because of negotiation all the time. People are tired. You see how another one come today, people are negotiation. And people are dying here with sickness and hunger and whatever. There is no time again for negotiation. Even the partners to come here to do what?
So
they are coming just to consume our resources, and there is no any benefit from a citizen. Let them do it. Let the government do whatever you want to do.
And that's the right way for you, right?
Yeah, that is the right way.
Thank you, Mike. Via our Facebook page, we have Nyok Padiegi saying, what we want as citizens of this nation, we want SPLMIG and SPLMIO to go for dialogue and come up with a positive result. Enough is enough. We are losing many innocents' lives. Keep that conversation going. Then someone in the names of that's Hunter NBA is watching us also live from Munuki. Another quick caller right here. iRadio. iRadio.
Hello, iRadio.
Naam.
You are speaking to Nyairo from Jabrona.
Marhab Nyairo.
Thank you very much, Madrama. Actually, South Sudanese take much from the top African diplomats that have visited the country because if there is no political push from our leaders, then these people, if they come, I think it will not produce any impact. Then it will come from our leaders themselves, like 70%. And then these people can come and tell them that your people are suffering. Then this is where we'll get the change. But we do not expect anything from them. So what I actually concur with is the approach or the dialogue should come from within. Someone suggested some weeks ago that let the church be the one to lead this team. So if our leaders are brought together, even here within Juba, I think that one will be peaceful, rather than expecting people coming from outside come and reconcile us.
Thank you.
And secondly, for our leaders, you see these parties all, for them to come together, in my view, they have to be, that Arusha agreement should be revised. Let all the SPLM members, let the list be kept. All the SPLM members should first come back to the SPLM, and then after that, when the peace is achieved, whoever wants to form his party should go and form his party. But these people should come back. That is my view.
Thank you. Nyairo is saying the visit of the top African diplomats to South Sudan will not bring peace, but rather he is suggesting for that home-based solution. South Sudan's problem should be solved by South Sudanese. That's according to Nyairo. And now we have Gordon Riaka Malek. He is saying the visit of the chairman of the African Union and the IGAD deputy secretary or any other peace mediators to South Sudan will not address the issues facing the nation. This is due to the fact that the root causes of the problems originate from South Sudanese people themselves rather than from external policies. I encourage South Sudanese to embrace one another irrespective of their tribe, ethnic background, and focus on fostering community dialogue. Thank you. We have Gadluak Poki saying we want a promised new South Sudan as it was clearly articulated by our founding father, late Dr. John Garang Dimabior. Please, Junubi, let's give peace a chance. Thank you. We have got this one here, radio.
Yes, good evening, Madrama James. How
Good.
are you?
I'm Tamam. How are you?
This is Keleman Kerr from Awil Town.
Welcome.
Yes, you know, the coming of these people, the chairman of African Union, has nothing to do with the change in South Sudan because in the previous years, the death pontiff came himself, and there is still things are in critical condition. So it is hard for him to change this unless the politicians of South Sudan by themselves and say no need for us to destroy our country. This is the only solution. But we cannot get solution from our side. We cannot even get solution from other people neighboring us. So this thing is very hard unless our own leaders sit down and discuss the things they get wrong. Shukran.
Thank you so much, Clement. Hi, radio. Hi, radio. Chance to two more lucky callers and then we call it a show. 0911-022-986-986. Do you think the coming of the African top delegates to South Sudan, especially Juba, will help bring peace and create an environment for that dialogue among South Sudanese leaders? Hi, radio.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Abdul Majalis.
Reverend.
Yeah. Thank you. So what I can say, it is really long time.
Sure.
So what I can say, South Sudan is a country. So first of all, let African Union and those of you that hearing this, plus we South Sudanese, like our politicians, what I can tell them, let them stop not to bring those people, because those people, they were the people in day one who go together with our peace.
What do you mean?
Those people, they cannot bring peace. Let me tell you, my brother, imagine, they cannot bring peace. Why? It is a very good example for them because they come here, they know that South Sudan is a resourceful country. They need money. If everybody can come to earn the money when you get money, you don't worry. If we are still fighting or we stop fighting, it is not up to him or her. So, for South Sudanese, let me hearing that. As a good example was said by His Excellency President of South Sudan, let me forget the past and open the new chapter. Why our politicians are not hearing that? fighting while our citizens are dying with many issues, disease, hunger, plus like now, there is no road here in Juba with a very nice you can walk safety. No, unless you go to airport and you win by airplane. So that one.
Oh, you mean roads connecting all the states, right?
Yes, all the states and our border, like this highway of normally. It's not now. It's not working very safely. Even this road of yes, because of this fighting. Why South Sudanese are not taking a good example of fighting? Dollar going up to 600 and something.
Thank you.
Let them hear from what people say. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Now to my last call, iRadio. Fursa Besle Mukhalama Yala Badaka na Bugafal Barnami Jeta Mutakid ziara bit African Union fi Junuba Sudan bejebu salamu wa bukutu jo bita hiwar bena nas musulin fi Juba. Hi Radio.
You listen to me?
Yes.
Okay. So you are connected to Juba.
Welcome.
Okay. What I say, the coming African Union in South Sudan, but cannot solve problems. You know, our fighting so started in 2013. So how many years now? So several years, several African Union, several nations that come to South Sudan, they cannot solve anything. When they came here, they cannot do anything. So let them come. If there is no solution, they can forget it. They can give it to African Union to fight a country, and they can solve problems. You know, even now people are suffering in this. Even today in Punjab there was a area bombardment by government troops. This is not good. This is not good for civilians. What a question the international community calling all South Sudanese, you have to call the international community. So it is a chance for tribal men when you are talking in media, like community advisor, which talking is not good. So when you are talking, you talk as a diplomat, you are talking as a person. When you are South Sudanese, you love all South Sudanese, not individual or sacrifice. So this is not good. What I request to all South Sudanese, so when you kill your brother, tomorrow you will regret. It's not good for you.
Sure.
Yeah, this is my opinion.
Thank you very much for sharing your insight with us, dear listener. I would love to really get more from you, but time is not again on my side here. But thank you so much for sharing your constructive views, and I believe these views will help change our country. Let's do this again. But if in case you have just joined us, we have been discussing about the two-day visit of the chairperson of African Union Commission and IGAD's Deputy Executive Secretary to South Sudan to engage parties on ending hostilities and reviving the 2018 peace agreement. African Union Chairperson Muhammad Ali Yusuf and IGAD Deputy Executive Secretary Muhammad Abi Ouari landed in Juba on Monday, May 5th, and will depart on Tuesday. So we have been seeking your thought whether the visit will encourage peace and dialogue among South Sudanese leaders. Thank you. I have been your host, Madrama James, and it's my pleasure to hear all your constructive ideas via that our Facebook live call and SMS as well. May God bless you.
We, the people of South Sudan, should embrace dialogue and distance ourselves from tribalism. We are one people, and peace will never come from outside.